ready.
Good evening and welcome to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. This is Raph streaming to you live high above the keep in the hot air balloon. As always, I have Neindorf with me tonight. Neindorf, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm waiting for some items to show up on the other side.
Yeah. There, you sent him on a boat, and it's a one-way trip for items right now. I hear it's kind of
Yes,
we had a lot of people speculating about the item bridge opening up, and here it is today. So the rumors were correct.
absolutely. You know what I mean? I think that's good. It gives people, hey, this is an event for people to get excited about. And having a surprise release, I think is a really cool thing. Whether or not it was ready earlier, possible. But even still, I think I'm pumped.
Blackwing says, bridging more crap over. That is what we're doing right now, that's for sure. All right,
Uh,
so around here, it's the start of the school year. So we did a donuts. It was like the day before school where you bring your supplies in.
oh
Um,
yeah.
so my second grader and my kindergartner went in this morning. So that was good, and now everyone's nestled quietly in bed and getting their beauty sleep before the big day tomorrow.
Yep, that's right. Those summer bedtimes for the Gen 1s have to go back to normal.
Hey, right. Okay, so I think we're gonna do a little bit of rehashing on. We haven't had a chance to do a formal podcast since the Klaytn um, home for Serendale was announced, or we talked a little bit about it maybe the last time, and then we haven't really talked a lot about Wisdom Gaming formally online either. Although these two topics have been covered a lot ad nauseum by kind of podcasters writ large. So what are your kind of brief notes, and then I think we're gonna move over a little quicker into to Summons Night over on Discord today. So yeah, what do you got as notes, and maybe I'll share a few of mine.
Sure. So I didn't look into the game studio so much. Maybe, hopefully, you have a little bit there. I did do a little bit of research on the Klaytn blockchain. Honestly, I didn't find a lot of details. Couple things that kind of stuck out to me. As the merge is more and more discussed in Ethereum, going from proof of stake to proof of work, or sorry, backwards, proof of work to proof of stake. Sorry. Um, I was reading this documentation on Klaytn, and they call it a POC, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" Apparently, proof of contribution.
Hmm.
And what I learned about that is I need to do more research. Uh, I don't know what that means quite yet. It sounds interesting and it's slightly different, but yeah, well, I'll try to dig in a little bit more on that, and maybe in a future cast we can maybe even find someone who can explain it better. I know we've had some people on helping us with some stuff in the past, so.
Yeah. I mean, generally, I'm super stoked about the Asian market getting introduced to DFK. Um, they were like first on the scene for having StarCraft as an esport in stadiums with people cheering them on. So, I mean, I think they take their gaming, and presumably I don't know too much about cryptocurrency or blockchains over there. They take their gaming pretty seriously, and that bodes well for what I think the future of the game will be. And I think that segues nicely into my brief research that I've done with Wisdom Gaming's. And so they are creating Wisdom Labs, an offshoot of Wisdom Gaming. Wisdom Gaming, as I understand it, is more of like an esports and events organizer. And so they have I think, a physical address in Mall of America, and they host things for like, I can't remember, like, there's like, I think they've done the Riot Games, which is League of Legends. They've done all sorts of other items. And so I feel like it's interesting that they're going from the esport like announcing and organizing space, and they're creating Wisdom Labs, and they're sharing the person that they're directing that. He's one of the directors of the main company as well, and so I think there's going to be just a ton of synergy. Hearing them talk about the general arrangement. They haven't given us any terms of what the arrangement is, but they've confirmed that there's no a very low upfront. There's no risk of take the money and run. I have a feeling that they're incentivizing Wisdom Labs with a high degree of getting a percentage cut on the future transactions of the PvP. And I think that's a really smart way to do it. And I think the more I've thought about this one, I think it allows the DFK team to keep their expenses minimized to supporting the game, getting it over onto another blockchain, and let someone else take the risk of developing PvP in a good way. So overall, I'm super bullish on the game. Pretty excited with where things are going.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think that partnering with the studio, I think, was something that's necessary, and we talked about that a little bit in the past. Like, we know that they're good Solidity developers and whatnot. I think this just kind of goes to prove that if they know they don't have a skill they need, they can find it. And I hope that this kind of pans out. I was just trying to look over my notes real quick. The only other thing I wanted to mention on the blockchain itself is I noticed that it's trivial details really, but they do have 1 second block time, kind of like DFK chain. And another thing I saw was that they only support up to 50 consensus nodes currently, which is kind of the centralized blockchain. But I don't, without more research, I don't know what that all entails as far as how do you elect a consensus node and things like that. So again, not a lot of details yet, but at least there's some info out there.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how more of that information pans out. And, in case there's any, Klaytn experts or Wisdom Gaming experts out there, hit us up. We want to bring you onto the podcast. I'm trying to reach out to some folks via Twitter and on Discord. I haven't got any takers yet, but yeah, trying to do my journalistic due diligence here.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
All right, so last thing I want to get before we jump into crystalvale summoning tonight, quick update on the liquidity pools. I decided to jump into Mightstones on Sunday, and it has about, what was it? I was 220, 200 Joule and 22 in the pool, and right now I'm at 317 Joule and 13 in the pool. So it's gone up by about 50% at least. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's like one part gaining from transactions, and a lot of parts, multiple parts from just the arbitrage opportunity with a whole bunch of people buying stones, presumably to send them over to Crystalvale for the summonings event. So anything that you're in liquidity pools wise, since we got hooked on them with Crypto Grady last week?
So, I mean, I'm still in kind of the same ones I have been in, really. I just kind of been in Jewel Gold quite a bit. And then I did, just for the heck of it, I bridged over like 20 or so Stampots
Oh, nice.
to Crystal Vale and put them into a Stampot one. The funny part about Stampots is you can't actually see it, you have to import it. So I'm probably going to get like no transactions on that one until at least it becomes, built into the game and not
that's
a custom import.
Sure.
But either way, I mean, I plan to move my Dread Knight over, so I think that way he can start doing cheaper training quests, and then now I can use a couple Stampots a day on him like I have been, since I can bridge him now. So
yeah, there you
either way, they're where they need to be. So I figured, what the heck.
Yeah, so I brought my 3 Gen Zeros over today, and my Mythic Gen Zero, I thought, what the heck, I'm going to listed him for hire for 120 crystal, and sure enough, he popped a few minutes later. So I was like,
nice.
Yes, wait, did I list him too low? So I don't know. I think I'm sitting on 300 crystal tonight. I hope I don't burn it all with the summons party. I'm hoping to maybe take some of that back and transform it into Jewel. Still addicted to these Serendale Garden rewards. They're just so juicy right now. You can, really do a lot with the game with that high percentage of unlocked jewels. So, maybe I'll keep throwing more into liquidity pools or back into the gardens themselves.
For sure, yeah. I only have one summon lined up for later because I just don't have a lot of hero pieces that pair well. I've just been struggling to find, that good fit. So unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of action.
Yeah, I got an exciting one here. I have an archer and a thief, both legendary, and they each have they're both level 10, and they each have one summon left.
There you
And
go.
so they just hit, well, not just, but they're level 10 each. And I've been thinking, when am I going to summon these two together? And so I'll go for that Dark Knight tonight, as kind of my exciting one, my exciting summon. So all
Cool.
right, so for those of you who are new to the drill for summons nights, go ahead and jump over into Discord. What I will do is I'll link to the channel in YouTube chat, and we'll end the formal podcast, close down YouTube, and jump over there, and we're gonna go ahead and share as needed over in general chat, and we'll kick off summoning tonight. So good luck to all of you out there, and we'll see you in a little bit.